Makhnev vs Sousa in the Menorca Open 2025 Open Round 8 sees a English opening Agincourt defense Catalan defense accepted battle unfold. Knight f3. Knight f6. On c4. On e6. On g3. On d5. Bishop g2. We are now in the English opening Agincourt defense Catalan defense accepted. On takes c4. Queen a4 check. Bishop d7. Threatening bishop takes a4. Queen takes c4 played by Makhnev. On c5. Knight e5. Threatening bishop takes b7. Queen c8 played by Sousa. On b3. Knight c6. Threatening knight takes e5. Knight takes d7 played by Makhnev. Queen takes d7. Bishop b2. Bishop e7. King castled kingside. Rook c8. On d3. Knight d4. Sousa is preparing to play. On b5. Queen takes d4. On takes d4 and gain a significant edge. Rook e1 played by Makhnev. On h5 it is novelty move. Knight d2. On b5. Threatening pawn takes c4. Queen c1 played by Makhnev. On h4. Queen d1. On takes g3. On takes g3. On e5. On a4. Makhnev is preparing to play. On e3. Knight e6. Knight f3 and establish a winning position. On b4 played by Sousa. On e3. Threatening pawn takes d4. Knight c6 played by Sousa. Queen e2. Makhnev is looking to play. Rook ac1. Queen e6. On d4. King castled kingside. Knight c4. On e4. On takes c5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight g4 played by Sousa. Rook a d1. Makhnev wants to play. On d4. King f8. On f3. Knight h6. On takes e5 and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook h6 played by Sousa. Knight c4. Makhnev is planning to play. On d4. On takes d4. On takes d4. On takes d4. Bishop takes d4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King f8 played by Sousa. Rook d2. Rook e8. Queen f3. Rook d8. Queen d1. Makhnev is preparing to play. On f3. Knight f6. Bishop takes e5 and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen f5 played by Sousa. Bishop takes c6. Rook takes c6. On f3. Threatening pawn takes g4. Knight h6 played by Sousa. Knight takes e5. Rook cd6. King g2. Makhnev is aiming to play. On g4. Queen c8. On d4. On takes d4. On takes d4. On f5. Rook c2. Queen b7. Pawn takes f5. Bishop h4 and increase their advantage significantly. Queen c8 played by Sousa. On e4. Bishop g5. On f4. Threatening pawn takes g5. Bishop f6 played by Sousa. Knight c4. Threatening knight takes d6. Rook a6 played by Sousa. Bishop takes f6. Rook takes f6. Queen h5. Makhnev might go for Rook e d1. Rook e6. On d4. Rook takes d4. Rook takes d4. On takes d4. Rook takes d4. Rook e8. Queen b5. Queen g4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight g8 played by Sousa. Rook h1. Rook h6. Threatening rook takes h5. Queen d1 played by Makhnev. Queen e6. Rook h5. Knight f6. Threatening rook takes h5. Rook takes h6 played by Makhnev. Pawn takes h6. On f5. Threatening pawn takes e6. Queen c6 played by Sousa. Queen f3. Rook d4. King f1. Queen c7. King e2. Queen e7. Queen f4. Threatening queen takes h6 check. King g7 played by Sousa. Threatening knight takes e4. Knight e3 played by Makhnev. Makhnev wants to play Rook d1. Knight g8. Rook h1. On f6. On g4. King h7. Rook c1. King h8 and dominate the board. On c4 played by Sousa. Sousa intends to play Pawn takes d3 check. Rook takes d3. Rook takes e4 and gain a significant edge. Pawn takes c4 played by Makhnev. Pawn b3. Queen b8. Makhnev is preparing to play Pawn e5. Pawn h5. Rook d1 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn h5 played by Sousa. Pawn e5. Rook d8. Pawn takes f6 check. Queen takes f6. Queen takes b3. Rook e8. Queen b2. Rook e5. Queen d4. Makhnev dominated and took the game.